elbows, clotheslines, and war crimes. Let's start with the obvious. Bill Laimbeer didn't just foul people. Fouling is when you slap a wrist on a jump shot or bump someone on a layup. That's basketball. Laimbeer, he was out here auditioning for the UFC decades before it even existed. Clotheslines, flying elbows, hip checks that would send dudes into the third row. He'd shove players midair, which in NBA terms is basically attempted murder. Ask Larry Bird about his broken bones. Ask Charles Barkley about the black eye. Ask Michael Jordan about the spine damage he collected during the infamous Jordan rules. The Pistons' whole strategy for slowing down Jordan was beat him up until he hates basketball. And Laimbeer was the executioner-in-chief. He'd send someone crashing to the floor, stand over their body like a WWE heel, then look at the ref like he just got framed for a crime he didn't commit. Hands up, innocent face. What? Me? Bill, you just committed aggravated assault on national TV. The NBA's official slogan back then was NBA Action. It's fantastic. Bill Laimbeer was running his own campaign. NBA Action, call an ambulance. The math teacher from hell. Here's the worst part. He didn't even look intimidating. Rodman? That dude looked unhinged. Charles Oakley? Terrifying. Anthony Mason? You didn't even want to make eye contact. But Bill Laimbeer? He looked like your substitute math teacher. The guy in a beige Buick, drinking black coffee, calling the cops when the neighbor kids play music too loud. That made his cheap shots 10 times worse, because it wasn't Shaq throwing the elbows or Barkley losing his cool. It was Bill Laimbeer, pale as a loaf of Wonder Bread, 6'11", looking like he sold insurance by day and committed war crimes by night. Imagine getting your teeth knocked out by a man who looks like he should be coaching your kids' YMCA league. It was insulting. Like, how is the guy who looks like Ned Flanders mixed with Frankenstein the one who's making professional athletes bleed on live TV? The disrespect was astronomical. CEO of the Bad Boys. Now, let's talk legacy. Detroit's Bad Boys were already the villains of the late 80s. Isaiah Thomas was the superstar orchestrator. Dumars was the silent assassin. Rodman was the psycho energy guy. But Laimbeer? He was the CEO of Villainy Inc., the enforcer, the face of everything the league hated. Every highlight reel from that era with players getting clotheslined, shoved, or sucker punched. 50% chance Laimbeer was involved. Cities didn't just hate the Pistons, they hated him. Boston fans booed him like he repossessed their car. Chicago fans hated him like he stole Jordan's MVPs. Even Knicks fans, who already worshipped goon basketball, thought Laimbeer went too far. He didn't just unite Detroit, he united the entire league against one man. The Bad Boys were despised, but Laimbeer, he was despised on a personal, generational level, hated by his own team. And here's where it gets special. You know, you've hit a different tier of hated when even your own teammates can't stand you. Laimbeer had that. He was the kind of guy who could win a playoff game for you on Friday, and by Saturday, his teammates wanted to fight him in practice. Rodman thought he was crazy, and if Dennis Rodman thinks you're too much, you've officially crossed the line into lunacy. Rick Mahorn, another certified bruiser, literally said he wanted to punch Laimbeer. Coaches tolerated him because he delivered results. But locker rooms? Forget it. Nobody was hanging out with Bill after practice. Nobody was grabbing dinner with him. Imagine being so hated that Dennis Rodman and Charles Barkley both think you're annoying. That's Hall of Fame level villainy. The fights were legendary. It wasn't just hard fouls. Laimbeer had a PhD in getting under people's skin. He started fights like it was his side hustle. Charles Barkley once said, "I don't mind fighting anybody but Laimbeer. That dude deserved it." Larry Bird and him went at it multiple times. Barkley tried to knock his head off. Robert Parrish literally punched him in the face in the middle of a playoff game, and the refs just let it go because they probably hated him too. Think about that. You punch most NBA players in the face, you're ejected. You punch Laimbeer, the refs were like, yeah, that's fair. Laimbeer was the one player who could make referees, opponents, fans, and his own teammates all agree on something. He needed to get punched. He didn't care at all, and that's what made him unstoppable. Laimbeer admitted he leaned into the hate. He called it mental warfare. He knew he was slow, unathletic, couldn't jump, couldn't dunk, so he built a career on misery, on making sure the other team walked away frustrated, hurt, and angry. He thrived on booze. He soaked up the hate. Every arena treated him like a wrestling heel, and he ate it up. Other villains in NBA history, Draymond, Reggie, KD, they all cared deep down about respect. Laimbeer didn't. He reveled in it. He marinated in it. He made most hated player alive his brand before social media even existed.